patch.
It's coming, sir.
While I'm young.
Damn, another patch, please? I'm sorry, Dr. Holt, it fell.
That's his optic nerve. Where's my patch?
It's coming.
That fluid keeps leaking, he dies. The nerve gets cut, he goes blind. Where's my patch?
Yes, sir, it's here, it's here. Sorry.
Kill that alarm.
Okay. There.
Next up, A Gifted Man, premiering this fall on CBS. We've all just seen it. Brian, pitch me.
A talented but selfish neurosurgeon comes into contact with the ghost of his ex-wife, who forces him to face the way that he interacts with his common man.
It's a 1-hour drama. It falls into the medical procedural franchise, and it's a one-hander, which is to say that it has a single lead, and that is Patrick Wilson, who plays Michael Holt, this top-flight neurosurgeon.
It's an old premise with a slightly new supernatural twist, but maybe not quite so new if we want to look back into literature and history.
Exactly.
My main problem with this show is that it comes on the flip of a dime. There's 1 minute, he seems selfish, and then at a moment's notice, drop of a hat, all of a sudden he becomes a good man.
Despite the ghost, this isn't really Christmas Carol, right? Christmas Carol, you take Ebenezer Scrooge, who's clearly a bad person, and you try to make him better. The whole deal around Patrick Wilson's character, Michael Holt, is that he's given up his life. He says, to be the best is not a part of your life, it's instead of it.
This is basically a story about a man who moves from selfishness to selflessness. But I think what really makes this work is that the people that play these characters give a certain charisma of the screen, particularly Jennifer Ehle, who I think does a really great job playing the ex-wife character who is the ghost.
I think she's quite lovely. There's a certain nostalgia, there's a certain regret of this character who's clearly looking back on her life from beyond the veil. I think she gives Patrick Wilson a lot in her scenes, and I think the mark of a really good actor is someone who's giving. She keeps it at arm's distance, which I guess makes sense because she's a ghost.
Right, right.
It's wonderful to see you, Michael. But I'm not going to sleep with you.
Why not?
Thank you for the wine and the company.
What I enjoy is their very first meeting when the audience doesn't know who she is, and the character doesn't know who she is. Her dialogue is still completely consistent with the fact that she's a ghost. She can't really interact with him the way that she might have if she was a living person.
That was actually something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I kind of wish we didn't know that she was a ghost right off the bat.
The show is missing out on an opportunity to deal with some existential doubt and crisis in these characters.
The writers are actually kind of cutting themselves off a little bit, because you're preventing yourself from creating a conflict with that character. There are some, some hang-ups in story and some things that don't really always click, but I feel like what kind of connects us all through of it is the performances in the show, particularly Patrick Wilson.
He's sensitive and subtle. He brings this incredible melancholia towards the end of the pilot episode.
He's brilliant.
He's brilliant, but then again, I think the show does live and die with Patrick Wilson.
And all of the performances in the show are really what sell it for me.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and they paper over a lot of the story consistency.
Absolutely.
It's a symptom of a larger issue in terms of the way the story deals with coincidence and happenstance. He goes to this clinic in the Bronx and happens upon the only woman in all of New York who has not one but two sons with major neurological
Wait a minute,
traumas.
I saw that as
right?
her leading him there, right?
But
Jennifer
the
Ehle's
ghost,
character.
the ghost brought him there. This is the way these kinds of shows work. The ghost leads you to the person with the problem. It puts the right person in the right place at the right time. It's called supernatural for a reason. The pilot demonstrates the entire blueprint of the future episodes, which is there's going to be a medical A story with a rich person, there's going to be a medical B story with a poor person that the ghost kind of leads him into, and then there's going to be a C story with the family.
And there's going to be a D story with the financial officer he's stooping on the side.
Yes, exactly.
Typically, you know, with these kinds of shows, we don't normally have the grace of experiencing sort of an auteurist director, you know, taking us through the pilot episode. But this show actually has, you know, the executive producer is Jonathan Demme, who did The Silence of the Lambs, did Philadelphia, Rachel Getting Married, and he directed the pilot episode. It had a very specific artistic vision. Instead of doing conversations in shot reverse shot, we do it, you know, they're centered in the frame, looking directly in the lens. It really created this emotional impact that I thought was astounding.
I need you to go there and open my files. My password's the same it's always been. You remember? My mic, M-Y-M-I-K-E.
All right, so I think we should just take this thing to a vote.
Might as well. Let's do it.
Cool.
Despite a very fine performance from Patrick Wilson, the main problem with this show is it uses his talent to paper over a lot of the problems with script and story and pacing, and I just don't see them being able to keep up the pace of Jonathan Demme's directing. So stream it for 5 episodes. If it doesn't pick up, toss it to the side. Stream it.
Well, I think it's predictable, but I do think it's emotionally affecting, and I do think it has a lot of potential, so I say stream it.
This is a great medical procedural with a great main character played by a very good lead actor, and I think it's television that you can look forward to every week. I say see it.
Okay, well that looks like 2 full tickets for a gifted man, which is a stream it.
Indeed.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.